Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Remy from Remy's Chop Shop. Today we're doing a video on fixing a snap thermostat volt on this VN. So yeah, sit back and let's get into it.
They talk about me, but it's all the same. They talk about me, it don't change a thing. Riding through the Ville and I'm switching lanes. They tryna play me, but I know the game. They tryna play me, but I know the game. They tryna play me, but I know the game. Riding through the Ville and I'm switching lanes. They tryna play me, but I know the game. They talk about me, but it's unoriginal. Worldwide, higher than the pinnacle. 5 stars, I'm the one your lady won't. Cashville got the whole city bumpin'. Riding around town, fly higher than the dove. If a hater try to talk, we gon' send them up above. Putting in work, I don't need no gloves. MC Hammer, but you know you can't touch. Haters gon' talk, but they all say the same thing. Win everywhere that I go like LeBron James. Got different flows, you can call me a mood ring. Can you back out of my face cause your breath stink? Beat up the entire track like I'm insane. Keep making movies like my name is Luke Kane. Taking my style, but I just take your boo thing. Writing these verses first class on the airplane. They talk about me, but it's all the same. They talk about me, it don't change a thing. Riding through the Ville and I'm switching lanes. They tryna play me, but I know the game. They tryna play me, but I know the game. They tryna play me, but I know the game. Riding through the Ville and I'm switching lanes. They tryna play me, but I know the game.
So we got this thing pulled apart, but I'm realizing that's going to be a bit of a mission. So sometimes you'll get lucky, and this is a thermostat out of the car. You can hopefully see that. It's only got 1 bolt, which is quite interesting. I forgot that as well, which is just it's a problem waiting to happen, isn't it, really? Most cars at least have 2. So if you get lucky, sometimes the bolt head will snap off, and then you'll have quite a bit of thread to grab onto, and in which case you can just get some multi-grips on there, usually clamp them and then spin it out. Unfortunately, in the case of this bolt, as I just tried to film, and I'm realizing this is going to be hard for me to show you how to do this, but I'm just going to keep getting in there as I'm doing step by step, and you'll have to, hopefully you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. But that bolt's actually snapped on an angle, which can make it a bit of a trap 2 drill. So I'm thinking I'm going to get in there if I can with my little grinder and just flatten that off, so that gives me a flat spot to then drill to, because you really need to get that drill bit as in the center as perfectly as possible. So I'm just about to have a look at that now. I've got quite a few different little grinders. Like I've got my, obviously like a normal grinder most people would have. Then I have little air grinders that are quite handheld size. So I think I should be able to get in there and grind that down to a flat surface, and then I'll be able to get my tool in there, drill it out, and then put my tap in there and hopefully pull it back out. So could you not drive past while I'm filming? You know, bit rude, very rude. Also, while I've got you guys, I don't know whether I said before, but I'll be doing another episode on my VL build, hopefully tomorrow. So I was going to do it today, but then this job come in and you got to take money when you can get it. So yeah, I've already done episode 1, which is moving it to the factory and getting it out of my warehouse. So if you haven't seen it, just jump on that video and have a watch. It was quite fun. But yeah, so I'll be doing a little bit more work on it. I'm still undecided of what direction to take with that car. So yeah, jump on the video, haven't watched, and then give us a comment once you watched it. So anyway, so yeah, step 1 is grind this bolt down. Step 2 will be drilling it, which might be tricky because it's actually in quite an awkward spot. So in Commodores, actually they ended up going back to the back of the engine in alloy techs with the thermostat, but in the Ecotech engine, so after this one and before the newer version of the V6 and the Commodores, they put the thermostat at the front. So when you get a snap bolt, it's fairly easy to do. And I think, I could be wrong, I'm sure one of you guys will know, and I should know this off the top of my head, I just have terrible memory. But I think only VN Series 1 are at the back, and then VR, they moved it to the front, is at the back. So it is a cool. But yeah, let's hope we don't make this worse, because basically if I fuck this up, and if you're doing it yourself and you fuck it up, you're gonna have to pull the whole intake manifold off, take it to a machine shop and get them to drill and re-tap it. So I'm hoping that, I've done this a million times before, but not on the back side of one of these motors. I don't think I've ever done the back one, so this could be interesting, but let's hope I don't muck it up.
Looking for lyrics and I am the plug. It's you in your head, but I'm not a drug. I am the one that my city loves, and my talent came from straight up above. They talk about me, but it's all the same. They talk about me, it don't change a thing. Ride through the Ville and I'm switching lanes. They try to play me, but I know the game. They try to play me, but I know the game. They try to play me, but I know the game. Ride through the Ville and I'm switching lanes. They try to play me, but I know the game. Subliminals in my peripherals. They speak on my name cause I'm cynical. Money come around like a merry-go. I stay with that ice that I'm Harry flow. You did drop a song, but it's dated though. I stay with the bills like a Billy goat. I stay with the bills, no buffalo. I killed the whole scene and I gotta go. I just killed the scene, bring a body bag. And I'm staying on you like a toe tag. I'm making waves, no do-rag. I'm skirting off in a new Jag. Never selling out cause I'm priceless. And I'm staying up like a night shift. Betting on me is the right risk. It's my style, can't bite this. And I'm running through like a track race. And your breath stink, get out my face. Give you 2 shots, it's your birthday. Now we seeing through you like an x-ray. I done told you once that we don't play. Now we got you shaking like an earthquake. And we got them answers like a survey. Shoot your top off, hot to pay. They talk about me, but it's all the same. They talk about me, it don't change a thing. Ride through the Ville and I'm switching lanes. They try to play me, but I know the game. They try to play me, but I know the game. They try to play me, but I know the game. Ride through the Ville and I'm switching lanes. They try to play me, but I know the game. They talk about me, but it's all the same. They talk about me, it don't change a thing. Ride through the Ville and I'm switching lanes. They try to play me, but I know the game. They try to play me, but I know the game. They try to play me, but I know the game. Ride through the Ville and I'm switching lanes. They try to play me, but I know the game.
So this basically will keep biting down into the bolt until it grabs a bit of thread, but this bolt really does not want to come out. Yeah, this style of die will basically, it's tapered, so it'll thread itself into the bolt, but the problem is this is getting that tight in there that I'm worried it's going to damage the actual thread, because I'm so close to the edge here, and I think that's half my trouble. Getting this bolt out. The thing is, if I can like now that there's, it's hard because when you drill this hole, like I thought I had it dead center, but I was obviously off about 1 millimeter, and then that it gets emphasized as the bigger you get up. So I'm quite over that way. Probably only about 1 millimeter left on this side, and there's about 3 millimeters left on this side. So had I had it perfect, I'd probably just run another drill bit down there and then collapse the bolt into itself and pull it out. Because I'm on the very edge, I've kind of done myself a bit of a tricky one here. I'm in a bit of a pickle. I reckon I'll give it a bit of a lube spray again and let it sit for a little bit longer while I think of what I'm going to do. This is the first style of one I was using, so you use this drill and then you drill it out so you can put that in. So just because these are a bit easier to see, this has a thread on it like a spline, so once you drill that hole you can then whack this in, and then you use these to that slide on that and lock onto that, and then to undo it. Those are guides, so if you can get onto the actual bolt you can slide that over so you can get the drill bit exactly right, but unfortunately in the case that we had, the bolt was nearly snapped flat, so there wasn't any surface for us to get onto. A bit of a diagram actually here of how it works. Second, and these two are very similar in design, but yeah, basically they just have a reverse thread so that it'll do up into the bolt and then grab and then undo it instead of it going with it, if that makes sense. So then when you get like this one, this was a bolt that we had that was stuck, you're able to just drill it out, put a tap in there and then thread it back out. Unfortunately none of these are working at the moment, like I said, because they're tapered. I think I'm putting pressure on the housing because I'm so thin on one side of that bolt. So yeah, I'm in a bit of a pickle right now, but I'll have a bit of a think about it and come back to it in a few minutes. So this VN's at the point of no return. Well, there is a return, but as far as that bolt coming out, it's not coming out anymore. Like I said, I ended up just like 1 millimeter off the dead center at the start, and that makes all the difference. Like if you can get those, the kit that I showed you before with it's got like a guide, if you can just sit that over the top of the other bolt and then put your drill bit through, you'll get it smack bang in the middle, and that makes all the difference because you're not trying to spin off center as well. If you're in the dead center, it's easy to get the bolt out. If you try and pull it on the side, it's going to be harder. I do think this bolt was just completely seized in there though, because I've never had one that bad. And it's at the point now I can't even weld something onto it to pull what's left of it out. So I'm just going to drill and tap it. So I thought, I guess I'll show you that side of it too, which is probably good for you guys because, you know, there's going to be a fair few of you out there that get to the point like I have right here where it just goes to shit, and you're going to have to drill and tap the bolt. So yeah, at this stage I'm just going to clean that hole out right to the edge of that thread, and then I'm going to run a tap in there. Sometimes when you put the tap in, if there's only like a millimeter left of the bolt on one side, it should eat into that, and then you might be able to get that out, which would be good. If not, I'm just going to slightly oversize it and just put the tiniest little bit bigger bolt in where it was. I'd say it would have had like a M10 maybe in there or whatever, but yeah, we'll just go up a little bit in size and tap the thread to suit. So yeah, it's thrown me a bit of a curveball today because I was really hoping it was going to be an easier job, but I'm always hoping it's going to be easy and it never is, but that's okay. So yeah, we'll just get into my tap set now, and then we'll start getting. I actually have 4 of those different pull out things to pull out a bolt. My tap set has those in there as well. I knew I had some somewhere else, but I couldn't figure out exactly where that was. But yeah, they're in the tap set. So yeah, I wish I could get better angles of doing this because it's going to be hard for me to film any of this. I don't know how their footage has come up so far, and I won't know until I edit it. But yeah, hopefully you can see what I'm doing with the tap in there.
I got 3 seconds to figure it out, yeah. I'm working hard and I'm building my cloud, yeah. Believing in me, not hearing no doubt, yeah. None of these haters can figure it out, yeah. Like I'm a skater, skate circles around, yeah. Throw out my paper, I hope it don't drown, yeah. My nose ain't red, but I'm finna get clowned up. Hey, turn this shit up. Practice makes perfect, and it ain't no doubt I'm truly worth it. I can still spit. Watching me through the window, but they can't see. Nothing. Keep away negativity around me, but they can't be nothing. Constantly got energy, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I got 3 seconds to figure it out, yeah.
People wonder why things cost so much bloody money, but I've been working on this for hours. Fucking storm that come through here was pretty savage. Yeah, this doesn't make any bloody sense. I run a tap all the way down here. I still can't get this fucking bolt to thread through it. Hey. Anything I can think of. The diameter of this bolt, it's threaded wrong. It threads in and holds pretty bloody good. But I got this bolt here. Maybe I got the wrong size bolt. Thinking, can't see shit. It's because you're fucking blind, mate. Put your glasses on. Yeah, I can see. You know, a lot of people would just ugga this down and fucking be done with it. But I'm really trying hard to make this perfect. What have we got? Oh. Yeah, I just got sent video of the rivers. What's the date today? I think it's the 22nd or 23rd today. Yeah, we just had the big storm, which if you guys are local, you would have had as well. Yeah, my brother sent me a video about the front of his office, and I thought it was bad here, but basically the road had turned into a river. So I don't know what my warehouse is going to be like. Cuzzy's meant to be checking and he's going to let me know. Hopefully I'm not flooded. I don't think there was a lot of rain. It might have washed some water through the warehouse, but I don't think there's enough rain to fill up the paddock and then flood the warehouse. So in that sense, I think I should be fine. So I'm gonna grab this thermostat now, set that on there and see how that's gonna do up. The good thing is that, I guess in this sense, because it's only got the one bolt, there's actually an O-ring seal, so I've just got to clean that up, and theoretically it really doesn't even need to be that tight because the O-ring's just going to slide down into that and it's just to hold it there. But I'm going to do it up nice and hand tight. But what an absolute super mission that was, but it's got the new thermostat in there, brand new bolts all bolted back together. So now I've just got to put all of the engine back together, put a new seal on the plenum, and then yeah, put it all back together and give it a start up. But yeah, I was starting to think that I wasn't going to get that. I ended up getting that bolt out. After all of that, I ended up just, basically you start using the tap to clean the thread and it'll jam up on where the bolt's left. So you just do that, pull it back, and then eventually it'll crack that thread off. So I ended up getting what was left of the bolt, which is like literally 1 millimeter thick of half of the bolt. So you can see that I was 1/2 mil out in my first drill, which then created it being 1 millimeter on one side, if that makes sense, by the time that you go to the full size and drill down. So yeah, it's if I'd only 1/2 mil one way or the other, I would have ended up getting that perfect. But it's all good because the bolt's out, new bolt's in, thermostat's in, I'm bolting it back together. Yeah, should have the car back together before long, and then we can start it up and give it back to the customer, and he's a happy dude. He can keep driving his ute. He's got this, it's his painter's car, because he doesn't want to ruin his other car, and he's sick of lifting ladders on the top, on and off the roof of his cruiser, so he's going to be using this for work. So at least we're keeping another worker on the road. Anyways, I'm going to get back to putting this thing together.
This ain't what you want. I've been living at hotels for a month. I don't take any means out of lunch. I've been spelling all my sneakers, I don't jump. Me and mine only tryna double up, yeah. Me and mine tryna build, come up front, yeah. Measure twice, cut once, what we on, yeah. Measure twice, cut once, what we on, yeah. I've been reading Proverbs on the walk, yeah. And I've been shutting down the stores, yeah. Cause when it rains, then it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, yeah. And I've been shutting down the stores, yeah. Cause when it rains, then it pours, yeah. And I'm ready for some more, yeah. And I've been reading all the war, and here I go again. I hope y'all never ever get the chance to win. I'm Westbrook and I'm staring at the rim, yeah. Does anybody really wanna jump with him? Yeah.
Well, that's it, guys. I've all packed up. It's yeah, come together good. It starts and runs and does everything it's meant to do. So yeah, I've just sent him a message. He's bloody stoked, and yeah, it's a good outcome. If you want a better video, I understand that I wanted to show you guys how to fix that bolt. But I know the video footage, even before looking at it, it's not going to be the greatest behind the motor there because it's just so hard to get clips of it. As far as re-tapping a thread that's no good, I definitely have a video on my YouTube channel already, so just jump on there and have a look if you want to have a look at better. I did a bench one on a bench, and I'll show you how to re-tap a bolt. But hopefully, if you've got a VN and you're thinking about taking on this job, if you're in Geelong, just send it to me and I'll charge you. If not, and you want to have a crack at it, at least that gives you a bit of an idea of what you're going to be up for. It wasn't too bad, it just took a lot longer than I would have thought it was going to take. I was thinking a couple of hours and it's taken me, I'm not sure if I started at 11 or 11:30, but it's 4:45 now. So yeah, it's taken quite a few hours to get the job done, but I didn't rush it. I never rush anything. I'd rather take my time and do a good job. I understand in certain circumstances, like I would have had this job done within an hour and a half, had of it just come out with the first. Had of it not been so locked in there, I would have got it out, yeah, and finished within an hour and a half, I reckon. So it's just, it goes to show you how quickly jobs can
throw out when you have something that gets as stuck as what that was. But at least we didn't have to pull the whole intake off and, you know, take it down the machine shop and stuff. Like, I was able to do it all in-house and it's done and the customer's happy. So yeah, if you did like the video, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.